Tomatoes are one of my favorite things to grow in the garden, and considering they're being recalled left and right here in America, I think it's about time you learn how to grow them yourselves. Here's some tips. When it comes to actually planting your tomatoes in the garden, make sure you pick a spot where it's going to get at least 6 hours of sunshine a day. They need a lot of light. When planting your tomatoes and you want to make sure you have a strong, healthy plant them really deep in the ground. You can't really tell, but when I planted this, the base of the plant was literally a foot deep in the ground. The deeper your tomato plant, the more roots it's going to be able to grow, and the stronger and happier your plant will be. Tomatoes get really big. Whether you have a bushing or vining variety, they're going to need some proper support, so make sure you set them up with a really good trellis. Now, when they start putting out those really long arms, they're not just going to latch onto the trellis themselves. You got to get in there and train them properly. I just use some garden wire, get in there, and attach them to the trellis. Doesn't necessarily have to be too tight. You don't want to suffocate their vines. When your plants actually start taking off, it is so important that you are actively pruning your plant throughout the season so it remains healthy. Some things to look out for are any leaves that are touching the ground or soil. This can expose the plant to soil-borne diseases. See ya! Look out for leaves that are starting to get too cluttered and piling on top of each other. Tomatoes do not like a lot of moisture on the leaves, so maximizing airflow in between the leaves helps them dry out quicker. Plants love airflow. Also look out for suckers. Suckers are going to be excess arms that grow from the plant that actually take up a lot of energy from the places you want them to go in the plant. I've let this one go quite a bit, but I definitely want to get rid of it because it's starting to produce fruits and I want the energy to go to fruit production, not a bunch of arms. Tomatoes are very tough plants. They can take a good snipping. If you feel bad about pruning off these suckers, you can literally just plant them in a pot of soil and it'll start to grow. When your tomatoes start producing their flowers, they contain both the male and female parts that they need to pollinate and produce fruit. To give them an extra hand at cross-pollination and producing the fruit, tickle their flowers. Tickle, 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 tickle. When your tomatoes start producing fruit, they're using nutrients to do it. So it's really important that you consistently supply them with more nutrients so that they can keep producing. There's this really cool plant called comfrey that produces leaves that are rich in potassium, which tomatoes love. So I like to get in here, harvest some leaves, and I bury them around the base of my tomato plant. As the leaves break down, they're going to release nutrients in the soil for my tomato plant to feed on. To help manage pests organically, try companion planting plants by your tomatoes that repel pests, like this marigold. Marigolds are easy to grow and they repel quite a few pests. If the pests are just too much to manage or you don't necessarily have that much room to companion plant, neem oil is a really great organic alternative to repelling pests in the garden. Just spray it in the evenings or on cloudy days because this stuff can burn your plants if you do it in broad daylight.